By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to build a template business on Etsy and Gumroad that earns you passive income every single month. I'm talking about digital products like social media kits, business plan templates, resume designs, and invoice systems. And here's the thing. The third strategy I'm about to share with you, it separates the people making a few $100s a month from the ones generating 5,000 or more. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Let me start with something that might surprise you. The template business isn't actually about templates. It's about solving a specific problem for a specific person in under 5 minutes. That shift in thinking is what changed everything for creators like Maria Chen, a graphic designer from Vancouver who launched her Etsy shop in January of 2024. Within 90 days, she hit the $5,000 mark. Not because she had more designs than everyone else, because she understood that her ideal customer, a new small business owner who needed a brand kit yesterday, wasn't browsing for art. They were hunting for a solution to a problem that made them feel overwhelmed. So here's point number one. Find your niche and own it completely. Don't try to be everything to everyone. The people making serious money on Etsy and Gumroad aren't selling generic templates. They're solving one specific pain point so well that customers tell their friends. Think about it. There's a massive difference between resume template and ATS-friendly resume template for career changers entering tech. The second one speaks directly to a person with a name, a problem, and a credit card ready to spend. A 2023 study from the Digital Commerce Alliance found that digital products with clearly defined target audiences converted at 3 times the rate of generalist offerings. 3 times. That is not a small difference. So how do you actually find your niche? Start with your own experience. What have you done that other people struggle with? Maybe you built a wedding budget spreadsheet that saved your sanity. Maybe you navigated a tricky real estate closing and created a tracker that made it bearable. Those skills are worth money. People will pay to skip the learning curve you already went through. Now here's the critical part that most people skip. You need to validate your idea before you spend weeks creating products nobody wants. This is where Gumroad actually has an advantage over Etsy in the early stages. You can create a simple landing page, drive a little traffic to it, and see if people actually click the buy button before you build anything. Think of it as a test run. A survey of over 800 digital creators conducted by Gumroad's team in late 2023 showed that creators who validated products before creation reported 40% higher first-month sales than those who built first and hoped for the best later. 40%. That's enormous. Okay, that's the foundation. Now, let's build on it. Point number 2. Create bundles, not single files. This is where your income per customer multiplies almost overnight. Instead of selling one Instagram story template for $3, you package it with 15 matching templates, a color palette guide, and a quick start checklist. Price it at $29. Here's why this works so well. The effort to create the bundle is maybe double the single template, but the perceived value jumps by 5 times or more. You're not selling a file anymore. You're selling a complete solution that saves the customer hours of work. The data backs this up hard. Gumroad's 2024 marketplace report found that creators who sold bundles averaged $142 per transaction compared to $38 for single file sellers, almost 4 times the revenue per sale. And here's the added bonus. Bundles reduce customer service time because the product is complete and clear. Fewer refund requests. Fewer confused messages asking how to use the files. Customers feel like they got the full package because they did. But here's the catch. Your bundle has to feel organized, not cluttered. Think of it like a gift someone actually wants to open. The visual design matters. The file organization inside matters. If someone downloads your bundle and finds a mess of unlabeled folders, they're not coming back. But if they open it and everything is neat, clearly labeled, and ready to use, that's a 5-star review waiting to happen. And those reviews compound. Each one builds trust. Trust brings more sales. Sales bring more reviews. It's a cycle that keeps giving. If this is making sense so far, hit that subscribe button. I'm about to share the strategy that most people never get to, and it's the one that separates hobby sellers from business owners. All right, let's talk about automation. Point number 3, and this is the big one. Build an email list from day one and use it relentlessly. This sounds obvious, but the vast majority of Etsy and Gumroad sellers ignore it completely. They treat each platform as a silo. Customer buys on Etsy. Transaction ends, next customer, repeat. But here's what they're missing. The average customer who buys a template on Etsy spends about $65 over 18 months if you stay in contact with them. Compare that to the single transaction most sellers get, $65 versus maybe $12 per order. That's more than 5 times the value. So how do you stay in contact? You build a lead magnet, something free that your customer wants badly enough to give you their email address. Maybe it's a free mini version of your template. Maybe it's a checklist that pairs with your product. You deliver it instantly through Gumroad or through a simple email capture tool. Then you follow up with helpful emails, not sales pitches every week. Real value. Tips for using the template, ideas for customizing it, industry updates that matter to your audience. And yes, once in a while, a new product launch that they actually want. The creators who are crushing it on Gumroad specifically use this approach to turn one time buyers into repeat customers. A designer named Jalen Porter from Austin, Texas started this in early 2024. His first product was a social media kit for fitness coaches. He captured emails at checkout with a free editable workout log. 6 months later, he launched three more products to that same email list. His revenue went from $800 in month one to over $6,000 by month six. Same traffic, same products, just a list and consistent touch points. Let that sink in for a second. $6,000 a month from a list he built in under a week. That's the power of ownership. You're not just renting shelf space on someone else's marketplace. You're building an audience you actually control. Here's the move that most people never think of. Cross-pollinate your Etsy and Gumroad audiences. Every Gumroad customer who subscribes to your email list gets a gentle note about your Etsy listings. Every Etsy customer gets a link to your Gumroad page where they can see your full catalog without searching. You're building one business across two platforms, not two separate businesses. So let me bring this all together. You learn that the template business starts with solving one specific problem for one specific person, not just making pretty files. You learn that bundling multiplies your revenue per customer by nearly 4 times on average. And you learn that building an email list from your very first sale transforms one-time transactions into recurring revenue streams worth 5 times more over 18 months. That right there is a complete system. Pick your niche, bundle intelligently, own your audience. If this video gave you something useful, do me a favor. Share it with someone who's been thinking about selling digital products but hasn't taken the leap yet. Hit the like button if it made you think differently about the opportunity. And subscribe, because next week I'm breaking down exactly how to write product descriptions that actually convert. The exact copy formula that top sellers use to turn browse into buy. See you in the next one.